Hello, I'm Loretta Romero, and also we welcome you back to Torture of an Angel. Today I have another guest. Her name is Joanne Romero, and she's also my sister. Okay, so, this is for my daughter, Angelica, and we named this Torture of an Angel. So let me introduce you to my sister, Joanne Romero. Hi, Joanne, how you doing?
I'm good.
Good. Where are you from?
From Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Have you lived here all your life?
Yes, I lived here all my life.
What can you say about Albuquerque?
I love Albuquerque. I was born here, raised here, and I'm going to die here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hopefully not soon.
What kind of hobbies do you have here in New Mexico?
Well, I do floral sometimes on my own, and I work, and I'm just enjoying life.
Enjoying life.
Yes.
You do floral. What
I was a designer. I was a designer and
wow,
manager
okay.
at one time.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So what can you say about Albuquerque? I mean, what can you say? What is there to do in Albuquerque?
Well, the best to do is you can go skiing or you can go hiking. There's a lot of things to do here.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
The weather is great here, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I love the weather here. So you know that we're here for my daughter, Angelica Montano.
Yes.
Okay, and you know the title, Torture of an Angel. Well, okay, so what do you remember, Joanne, in 1999?
In 1999, Angelique Montano got abducted, and she was brutally tortured. And her justice is not really justice because there's people out there that are making stories that they don't even know this little girl. She was beautiful, ambitious, and they're even writing stories about her that it's lies. And that's not right. And my sister, her mother, is here for that today. So we are tired of lies and deceitful, what they're saying about Angelique Montano, because they're not true.
That's right. What can you say about Angela? Tell the audience what kind of person she was, her attitude and
Oh,
so
she
forth.
was a beautiful young lady. I mean, she was ambitious. She was full of life, full of life. And I loved her very much, and we miss her very much.
Would you say you were close to Angela?
Yes, I was. I was close to Angela.
She was. Do you recall one day after the situation that happened, we took her out to lunch? What happened that day, Joanne?
What happened that day, she was very devastated, traumatized. And I was so angry what this man had done in the toy box. And he is not really getting justice. He should have been tortured himself. That's the way I feel. I mean, what he did to the victims and my niece was very, very, oh my God, I can't describe the feeling that I have now. I wish he was tortured the same way.
Okay, so you felt like this gentleman should have been tortured as well.
Yes, he should have. Him and the other person with him should have been tortured as well.
Where did they torture these young ladies, Joanne? There was a toy box, correct?
At the toy box, yes.
Okay. Was Angelica herself after that situation?
Oh, no. Angelica was not herself at all. She actually was devastated, traumatized, and having nightmares all the time. She was not herself anymore. She was a young, beautiful young lady, and after that, she was devastated. I mean, very devastated and depressed.
So in other words, what you're saying, it changed after that situation, it changed her looks, her attitude.
Her looks, her attitude, it was drained. She was drained. She was tortured. I don't know how she could go through that. I mean, no person should go through that. What happened in that toy box. Yeah. And that's, I don't know what I would do if it was me.
Let me ask you another question. Okay, do you recall the time we took Angela out to lunch and you had a conversation with her? What was the conversation about?
She said that she don't know if she could live with that monster doing things what they did in that toy box to her. The conversation is that she was very sad and depressed. And she was very devastated, very devastated.
What did you advise her, Joanne?
I advised her to go to a counselor and to get help, but she even says the counselor's not going to do me any good because I already have it in my mind, all the nightmares from, I can't say the word, but this is just nightmares. A lot of nightmares she had.
Yeah, she did. She's just suffering a lot. And you're right about one thing. She did change her attitude and everything. And the thing is that, like you said, they wrote books about this man. They have movies about this man. And that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this. Because they have him up here. His name will go on forever.
Yeah.
My daughter's name won't. Okay? So what's your opinion about myself and my partner doing this film for Angela?
Well, the thing is my niece needs justice, and they need to stop making lies about Angela. They don't even know her. I mean, they put pictures in books which is not even her, and they're talking about her, which is not true. And that's why we're here, to make the truth of Angelique Montano.
Well, okay, so when you say you want to talk about the truth about Angela, tell the audience, what truth are we talking about?
We're talking about when she was a little girl, and they're smearing her name, saying she was this and that. And that's not true. She was a very ambitious, young, beautiful young lady. And they're making money off of her, which is not true. And writing books and making him appear like he's a superstar, and she's deceit, and they're just smearing her name. That's what I'm mad about.
Right. And okay, so you know that Angela was the first victim to testify with this man.
Yes.
And she was the second victim that this man tortured my daughter. Okay? So, do you remember in 2000, March 7, year 2000, do you recall that day, what happened to Angela and what I went through?
Yes, you were very depressed yourself. And you couldn't even handle Angela's funeral.
Right.
So I had to take over for you because you were out of it with Angela. You couldn't even talk. I mean, you were devastated yourself. You were in shock. And that was very devastating for you.
Would you say I was going through torture as well?
Yes, you were. You were going through torture. You went through a lot of depression and for years. And that took you a long time.
Yes. 18 years. Now that we're speaking about that, have I ever confronted you or talked to you about it ever in the 18 years?
No, you couldn't talk about it. You weren't ready to talk about it.
Right.
And now you're ready to fight for her name because they're smearing it all over the books. These writers that they think they're writers, and they don't even know who the young lady is, but they're talking about her and smearing her name and trying to make a buck out of it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Let me see. Okay, so we went to court. You, Marianne, and myself.
Yes.
Do you remember on the way to court how I was?
You were very devastated, Loretta. I mean, you were out of it. You were very out of it.
Was I quiet? Was I angry?
You were quiet and angry and hurt what they did to your daughter and thinking about how she got tortured. I mean, it's unbelievable and how you handled it. And you were you were kind of different yourself. You weren't Loretta, the happy-go-lucky sister I knew for years. And now you're probably coming out of your shell, but still now you want to make justice for your daughter.
So you're saying that Angela never received justice that she deserves, then, right?
She deserves her justice, and let her in peace.
Right.
She
So
needs to
she
be
didn't
free.
get justice. She didn't get to go to court with this
No.
man because she passed away before her court date with this man. So she didn't get to say anything to this man that tortured her to get this out of her. She wasn't able to. Okay? But my question is, would you say that's not justice, or would be justice? What would you say about that?
No, it wasn't justice.
It wasn't.
It wasn't justice because she didn't say what she had to say to the people that was going to interview her. So she didn't get no justice.
Well, Joanne, okay, I tried to stop her from going to the reporters and stuff on that day. I mean, that time before she passed. I said, Angela, don't go to reporters. You need help. You need counseling. You need a lot of help. Stay away from the reporters. But she still went to the reporters behind my back. Now, was I wrong to keep her from doing that? Or what do you feel she was trying to do?
I think she really wanted justice, but I think you were protecting her in a way from the media. And they just bring up stories and they'll just put it in the paper. But evidently, you know, I don't know what your feeling was, but she was trying to tell the people what really happened. And I guess you were just trying to protect her.
Yeah. So what you're saying, Joanne, is she was trying to go to the reporters behind my back so she could tell the world what this man did to her.
Yeah.
She was trying to, would you say she was trying to warn other ladies or other children?
I think she was trying to warn everybody out there to be careful of the doctors when they go out, or, you know, but in my mind, yes, she was trying to tell the world.
So yeah, she was trying to get her word out at that time, but I didn't let her. But when you walked in the courtroom, okay, what was your first reaction when you saw this man?
Anger. I mean, I was so angry that he did this to my niece. So angry that I did yell out, but I can't say the word, that he would die.
Was it a bad word, man?
Yes.
Bad word. Huh?
That's the H word.
Okay. So the thing, so we sat down, right? And what happened then?
They asked you, what did you think about this man that tortured your daughter?
When the judge asked me, Loretta Romero, would you like to say a few words to this man? And I said, of course. Okay, that's why I was there, right? What happened when we went up to the bench and started talking to this man? Can you recall that?
Well, you said, I forgive you. And I was so angry, I turned at you and looked at you like, are you insane? But I was like, why did you say something like that? And I think you weren't really clear in your mind, or I don't know why you said that. But I was so angry at you, and I told him I wish he would die and go to H. That's what I said.
To hell.
Yes.
Okay, so after that, okay, Joanne, in the court, we were driving home. How was I then?
You were crying. I mean, you couldn't even drive, so it was like, so Marion had to drive home because you were very devastated, very devastated.
Okay, so when we got home, I ran into my room, correct?
Yeah, and you shut yourself out for a while.
I shut myself out them that day, but I was angry for what I said in court.
Yes.
I forgave this man, and I still don't know why I ever said that. But like I told the audience before, I was sweating in there, and my heart was beating hard, and I seen this man, and I was just so angry with this man there were so many things going through my mind at that time. Wouldn't you say that if you had a daughter or your son or something,
Oh.
same thing? Well, I mean, how would you feel? I mean, what can you tell the audience in case somebody else's daughter or son went through the same thing? What would you tell the audience?
I'm going to tell the audience that the reporters need to know the real story of the person instead of, making obscene, writing and something that's not what it's all about. It's not true. So and I was very devastated if it was my daughter, but I do have a son, and I would be very devastated too. So I only have one son also. So I can't even express my feelings, what I would say.
It's a hard thing to go through. Because, Joanne, there's other parents out there. I mean, it's not the same situation. It's like Marianne, her son died a natural death. Mine was tormented, okay? And that's something hard to do. But, it's hard to lose a child, But parents can't watch their kids 24/7.
No.
So what they need to do is open up their kids' eyes and say, be careful out there, because this world is bad. Anywhere you go in this world, it's bad.
It's really bad.
Just tell your kids, just be careful who's behind you. Don't talk to strangers. Don't take no money from them. Just stay away from strangers, because you don't know what that person's going to do.
Yeah.
So I know parents are working. They got to make ends meet, but with the cost of living now, both parents have to work. Okay? So tell your kids, keep your eyes open. Be careful, Be careful, because there's so many kids getting killed, overdosed, shot, and everything. I mean, wouldn't you agree with me, Joanne?
Yes, and look at all the children that are being abducted and missing. A lot of children are missing. Look at these people are missing. So, yeah, beware.
Beware of this world, because it's getting worse and worse every time,
Yeah.
You try to find out so many ways to protect yourself in your own home, it's terrible. But okay, Joanne, do you have any last statements with the audience?
All I say is just beware and be careful with your children.
And what would you say the last word of Angela Montano?
Angela Montano, hopefully we will give you justice in this interview.
There you go, people. Thank you so much for coming and watching us today. And I thank you, Joanne, for doing this interview for your niece, Angelica Montano, and for me. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, and hopefully we'll see you again real soon. And we're trying to get into Elephant Butte, but we will get there. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.